been such a bad look. It's a bad look. And there were good games last night, guys, and we're going to get to some right now. Thank goodness. Rockets, Celtics. This one's fun. You get a Dylan Brooks 3, okay? You get a Şengün moment here. That's going to go ahead and take the lead in this bad boy. But why not? Tatum, tie this thing up. You can do that, right? Yes, I can. And who wins it? Amen Thompson, his very first game winner. He had a career-high 33 points, 10 rebounds. Afterwards, he said, yeah, that was his first. And he felt like Kobe, Chandler, the guy you don't think's top 3. I love this for him. What'd you think about the ending? Just kidding.
First of all, this game was insane. I don't know if it was a lead offense down the play. It was just horrific defense, but they were just easy bucket after easy bucket with the game on the line. And he used his body well. I think they got confused on the switch off that initial sideline action. Jaylen Brown was a little bit late, and then he was able to kind of get the best look possible, right? He bumps him right here. He's got an uncontested, basically floater in the lane for a game. This was a great game. This was an awesome move. And this kid, by the way, he's on the rise. We haven't talked about him much, but in his brother too, it's like they're both kind of turning it on at the same time, which is funny because they're obviously twins. But kid's so athletic. He needs to kind of develop his jump shot a little bit more and become more consistent. But he can do it all. He can defend. He gets out in transition. I'd love to see him in the dunk contest. The kid is bouncy. But this is a huge win, and this is what Rockets do. The Rockets play hard. They grind you down. They're going to put themselves in situations to win every game just based on their style of play. And Udoka's got these dudes playing.
That's a fun one, Lou. It's also fun to just feel the excitement off of him. So young.
Yeah, no, that was a great game. And star players were doing what star players do on the Boston side. And, Thompson has something to say about it. He gave up the bucket right before that. So for him to get an opportunity to get his lick back for the game, I'm sure as a young guy that felt amazing for him. Take that momentum and run with it.
Look, they've won 3 in a row. They're doing so well in the Western Conference, sitting at 2. They got some vets, but they're pretty much overall a very, very young team, Lou. I know we're getting there. It's almost all-star break. Can they actually do anything in the playoffs? Could they be a disruptor?
I think they can. And the reason being is there's no pressure on this team. They're playing with house money. Like we didn't start this season off saying the Houston Rockets are going to be one of the teams that are going to come out of the Western Conference. So if you're going to work every day with no pressure on you, stress-free, it makes the work environment easier. It makes it easier for you to work hard, especially when you're starting to see the results of that work, right? You're looking at a team that's in second place. If the playoffs started today, they will have a matchup with the Minnesota Timberwolves. There's more pressure on the Minnesota Timberwolves at 7 than there is at the Houston Rockets at 2 because of expectations that started this season out, right? So if you go into that series, you're at home, you're playing better basketball, no pressure on us. Even if you were to lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves, some people are going to make a case and say, you were supposed to lose to the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're a quote-unquote better team based on how they were constructed. So the only people that believe in the Houston Rockets are the Houston Rockets. And sometimes when you have that mentality, us versus everybody, and you don't have an expectation, and everybody already feel like you've overachieved something, that's the best way to go about business. When you're flying under the radar, you don't have any pressure on you to go out there and achieve anything. That's the best scenario you can be in. And so for that reason, I feel like they can go out there and make a lot of noise simply because they're playing with house money.
I like it.
And you know what's crazy? I'm looking at this team and I'm like, I wouldn't switch up anything just because they do have that balance, that combination of star power. They have depth, they have vets, they have dogs that defend. They have another great coach that's been unbelievable, Udoka. But Jimmy Butler is the guy that I would look to be like, man, he fits this. If he wasn't so disruptive and everything he's doing right now, they have so many assets that they could give up. They have guys that they could flop for him, a Dylan Brooks, who's playing well this year, a Jabari Smith, who hasn't kind of reached his potential. Loaded young talent on that bench that don't even get a chance to play just because his team is so deep. So again, it's almost kind of getting to that thunder category where I wouldn't shake it up yet because this team is on the rise and I wouldn't bring anything else to kind of offset that. But they are, I think, a piece, like a real star piece away from kind of being a contender. Right now, they're not a contender to me. I think they play hard. They're disruptive, like we said.
Yeah.
But
what
like,
you just say, Chandler?
If they play Minnesota in a series tomorrow, I guarantee you Minnesota would have no problem with that. You know what I mean? So like, they're not feared yet, but they are very, very good.
But what did we just discuss, Chandler? Like if I'm Amen Thompson, right, and I'm emerging and I'm getting better and better, or if I'm the Houston Rockets, I'm sitting in second place without Jimmy Butler. Why even shake our tree? I'm gonna take my chance. I'm gonna take my chances where I stand because we're good just like this. So why would I even mess with it? And this is what I hate to take it back to Jimmy Butler, but this is what is changing the narrative around his name with these holdouts or these suspensions or whatever. Like you can take a Houston Rockets team that may be interested in bringing you over, but now you're kind of like, I don't know, I'm cool.
Yeah, pass.
And by the way, don't even put Thompson in it. You have Jabari Smith, you have Cam Whitmore, you have Reed Shepherd, you have so many assets on this team. They are loaded. Like they are in such a great situation. So they could keep their core and add a vet. It doesn't have to be Jimmy Butler, but I just think they are one piece away with this kind of growing duo. And I don't know who it is, but I think they're still one piece away from being a real championship team. But they're going to be a tough out. Imagine have to play these dudes 7 times in a series. The way they defend, it's going to be tough.
It's going to be tough. It's crazy because 2 months ago, the Jimmy Butler thing, sure. Yeah, no brainer. Now it's toxic. Grizzlies Knicks. Now, was this a competitive game? I'm going to go with a no here.